Welcome to Kansas City, where the jazz is smooth, the barbecue is saucy, and former cop Eric DeValkenaere gets a gold star for killing a black man. 5 years ago, he shot 26-year-old Cameron Lamb. Cameron Lamb and his live-in girlfriend broke up, and she moved out after an argument, which continued outside the house and eventually led to Lamb chasing her in their vehicles at high speeds through streets in the surrounding neighborhoods. Undercover officers witnessed parts of the chase and some traffic infractions, but no one with KCPD ever attempted to pull over Cameron before he called it quits on following his girlfriend and returned home. As Cameron backs his truck into the garage, KCPD Detective Troy Schwalm approaches. Just before contact, Lamb makes a phone call to a member of his ex-girlfriend's family. About 10 to 15 seconds later, DeValkenaere crashes into the backyard like a trigger-happy bull in a china shop, knocking over a fence and shoots Lamb. The phone was still ringing when the shot was fired, but a voicemail captures the aftermath after the call's recipient fails to pick up. Detective Schwalm had Cameron in his direct line of sight. He saw no gun in Cameron's hand. How would it have been physically possible for Cameron to back up his truck into his garage, hold a phone as well as a gun?
Detective DeValkenaere says he's got a gun, and I didn't see it.
It seems more likely that DeValkenaere went berserk. Cameron's roommate happened to be on the front porch when DeValkenaere rolled up, and he pointed a gun at her. Seems fairly careless to me, especially when the only crimes committed by anyone but DeValkenaere were traffic violations. Within 9 seconds of arriving, DeValkenaere shot and killed Cameron Lamb.
And this is 9 seconds that it took that officer to get out of his car and shoot my son. 4, 3.
To make the shooting more legitimate and to throw mud on Cameron's name, police tried to file a DV charge against Cameron. They tried to charge a dead man, a fairly sloppy attempt at a CYA. But it got Jackson County prosecuting attorney Gene Peters Baker asking questions about the illegal entry onto Cameron's property and why he was shot.
It was reckless and it was in violation of the Fourth Amendment.
I was scared DeValkenaere said. I started shooting at him believing that he was shooting Troy, and I ran, shooting backwards, around the corner of the house, freaking the out. That sounds about right. Where did the mysterious gun come from? First responders had conflicting testimony about whether or not they ever saw a gun. Charges were filed, and after a bench trial, DeValkenaere was sentenced to 6 years in prison.
Then Sergeant Schwalm and Eric DeValkenaere arrive, and as the court has found, an encounter that was over and a situation that had de-escalated was again escalated by what I have found was their unlawful entry into the backyard carport area and confrontation of Cameron Lamb.
Then, Missouri Governor Mike Parson decided that 6 years in prison was too harsh for DeValkenaere. He commuted the sentence.
That I know he's a former law enforcement officer himself.
Sidelining justice. Governor-elect Mike Kehoe, a family friend, wanted to pardon DeValkenaere, deepening wounds for those seeking accountability. Kehoe may end up giving DeValkenaere a pardon. I imagine the citizens will be there for it. While DeValkenaere enjoys time with his family at Christmas, Cameron Lamb's kids are left without their dad.
It's been painful.
Why painful?
Because I grew up with no dad.
So here we are. A cop who violated a man's rights, a governor who turns a blind eye, and a future governor rolling out the red carpet for a killer. Fuck your thin blue line.